Welcome to another episode of Crypto Traders. I'm Adam,
I'm Ben.
and we're here to talk to you about litecoins. Now, what is Litecoin? Well, Litecoin is the second decentralized peer-to-peer currency that was created by the Bitcoin community in order to fix the errors that were created in Bitcoin. Now, when I say errors, I don't mean real errors, but you had you had to provide the Bitcoin system with certain flaws in order to get it to be adopted. And what I mean by that is, you had to get people to start mining, you had to get them to start using it. So what you had to basically do is you had to show them that it would be very, very profitable to be the first one to take the risk to do this. Now, Litecoin realizes that now that the profitability and the usability and the reality of cryptocurrencies is here, well, you don't have to give that unfair benefit to the early adopters because you don't really need to get the word out there. So basically, what are the benefits of Litecoin? Well, they cancel the advantage of the early adopters. They give out a more equal wealth distribution, and they're decentralized mining. Now, let's first talk about the last thing I said, which is decentralized mining. Well, when Bitcoin started, we started out with CPU mining. Basically using your regular CPU that every computer has in order to solve the very difficult algorithm. And at the beginning, it was profitable.
It was easy.
It was easy because you had not a lot of people and not a lot of computing power competing for that block of 50 or 25 or 12 and a half, whatever it is at the current time of Bitcoins. The more people got in, they advanced to the GPUs. Now the GPUs were more efficient, and it raised the bar more. And then we went into FPGA mining for Bitcoin, all the way now that we're getting to ASIC mining. Now each time we go into a new technology for mining, well, this technology before that becomes unprofitable because the new technology is so much more superior. It's like, racing a Ferrari against, a horse. I mean, there's no comparison. It's just not. It's not even competition. It's not profitable, right? I mean, everyone should just use the fucking car. Why try to race a horse against a car? So, what's going to happen basically is that as these ASICs come in, they are going to transfer the CPU and GPU miners into Litecoin. Now, this is why we think Litecoin is profitable for the following three reasons. A, it's undervalued. We were buying Litecoins when they were like 30 cents a piece, or about 200 Litecoins to the Bitcoin, and now they're at $4. About 33 Litecoins to the Bitcoin. And we feel that they should eventually be something more like about, hypothetically, it should be 4 Litecoins to Bitcoin. And again, you need to remember that this Litecoin was created by the Bitcoin community. So if that's what the community wants, that's probably what's going to happen. But we can estimate in the short run, you're about to get about 6-7 Litecoins to Bitcoin. Right now, we're at around, like I said, 35 to 40 Litecoins to Bitcoin. So that's number one, because of just the fact that they're undervalued. That's why you should buy Litecoins. Number two, it's entering McGox and Bitstamp and all the large exchanges. I mean, so basically, you went from this, tiny little BTC-E, that's BTC-E, is where you can buy Litecoins right now. So basically, you went from BTCE.com,
which is tiny,
and it's a shitty exchange that no one knows about. You went from them being the traders in Litecoins, and all of a sudden you're going to have all these big exchanges. Now you need to remember that you have $10 to $20 million every day entering McGox with only 1 million going out. That means that even though people aren't buying, they're still waiting. They're still speculating. They're about to throw their money into something, and we know where that money is going to go. I mean, it's going to go into what they think is going to be profitable. So they're going to see all of a sudden this Litecoin thing, right? And everyone that missed a bandwagon on, Bitcoin is going to want to jump into Litecoin. So that's why we feel that, Litecoin is the next big thing. And we know it. I mean, yeah, that's where all our money is. We don't even hold Bitcoins. We're all in Litecoin. All the money we made off Bitcoins, and I assure you, it was substantial, all went into Litecoins. That's how confident we are about Litecoins. Now, another reason for it is because of the simple supply and demand. Like I said, as these ASICs and these ASIC, mining rigs move into the Bitcoin economy, and the Litecoin is Bitcoin proof, Litecoin is ASIC proof, I'm sorry. Well, you're going to see the CPU and GPU miners go out of the Litecoin, out of the Bitcoin into the Litecoin, and they're going to start mining Litecoins. This will increase the difficulty, and since the difficulty is increased, they're harder to produce. The supply, ratio goes up, and like we know in supply and demand, when supply goes up, it gets more expensive to buy. So now that it's harder to produce them, it's going to be more expensive to buy them. So again, let me reiterate. There's 3 reasons we believe in buying Litecoins right now. 1, they're undervalued. At only $33 a coin per Bitcoin, 33 Litecoins per Bitcoin, you should see them to get to about 6 Litecoins per Bitcoin. 2, independent of the Bitcoin, the Litecoin should raise because of the mining issue. ASICs are about to hit the market. The CPU and GPU miners will go into Litecoin. The difficulty will rise. They'll become harder to mine, and that will create higher prices. Supposedly, that's what we've seen in the past. I know that price should not be pegged to difficulty, but it is. And third is the distribution of wealth. It is more profitable for people to invest their money into Litecoin, where you only have single digits. I think it's like 4 or 5% of the market now is being held by people. Where when you, let's say, put your money into Litecoin, right? So whatever you raise that market value cap by, whatever you raise the value of by, you're only giving away 4% to the early adopters. When you do it with Bitcoin, you're giving 50% of your value that you transferred. Forget about dollars now. We're talking about value, right? You transferred instead of, let's say, buying your hamburger in dollars, you're buying it in Bitcoin. So now the value of that hamburger has went from the dollar economy to the Bitcoin economy. And when that value is transferred, instead of you gaining that value, well, 50% of that value just went to the Bitcoin early adopters. But when you transfer your value, your house, your car, whatever it is, right? Whatever part of the percent of the GDP moves from the fiat money into the cryptocurrency money, well, when you do it with Litecoin, you're only giving about 4% away to the early adopters. And that's why we think Litecoin is going to be the big success. And all our money's in there. And, Megach said they're going to come out with it in a few weeks.
Official announcement.
Official announcement was made 2 days ago. So, crossing our fingers, and we hope you make a lot of money.
See you next time.
See you next time.